Hey guys, head over to GoGo Nerd Shop Etsy page now and purchase your Power Ranger Shatter Grid watercolor paintings. Get them while they last. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It is I, Zentai Fit. As you guys know, if you guys are subscribed to my channel, you know that I recap the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comics and the Saban GoGo Power Ranger comics as well. So I'm always recapping those. But what I'm here to talk about today is the finale. It all comes to an epic ending. Whew, it's kind of crazy to say that out loud, like it's all going to come to an end. So there's an article that I pulled up, so I'm going to be bouncing kind of back and forth. But this is written by theinverse.com, and this wasn't too long ago. You know, I'd seen something about this before, but I haven't read it. So this is kind of just my initial reaction of this article. So let's get into it. Power Rangers Shattered Grid ending aims to top anything by DC or Marvel. A little competition there. The end is nigh for Power Rangers. In August, Boom Studios will publish the final chapters of Kyle Higgins' epic crossover. Power Rangers Shattered Grid, which has staged all-out war between the surviving Power Rangers and the evil Lord Draken. As the biggest crossover in the franchise's 25-year history, the ambitions are sky high, and Shattered Grid promises to rewrite the playbook on comic book event crossovers. On Monday, Boom Studios announced the final chapters of Shattered Grid, which will hit the bookshelves in August. GoGo Power Rangers number 12 by Ryan Parrott, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 30 by Kyle Higgins, and the one-shot special Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid finale number 1, which caps off the story more than 2 years in the making. In a statement, Boom promises that the ending of Shattered Grid is so big, it will change how comic book crossovers are done. No matter what you do, don't let anyone spoil the final page of Power Rangers Shattered Grid for you, said editor Daphne Pleben in a statement. Wow. Everyone at Boom Studios and Saban Brands have worked hard to create a conclusion that will break all the rules of comic book events and will leave fans shocked. Everything changes here. Interesting. Oh, man. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Wow. That's pretty cool. They're like, yeah, don't let anyone spoil this ending for you. So it sounds like whatever's going to happen is going to be pretty darn epic, which, I mean, obviously, if you've been reading these stories, you already know, you know, these comics have been selling out, and the story is just compelling with each issue. So I can only imagine what the conclusion is going to be like. And yeah, we've seen a few images that have been released. For decades, Marvel and DC have dominated comics for decades with big event crossovers. From Secret Wars to Crisis on Infinite Earths, from House of M to Blackest of Night, from Avengers vs. X-Men to Dark Knight's Metal, all of them have defined the word epic, and they have, but Higgins, whose credits also include DC books like Nightwing, has proven with Shattered Grid that ambition isn't exclusive to the big two. In the arena of comic book crossovers, Power Rangers Shattered Grid is a bona fide heavyweight that comes packed with all of the tropes good crossovers have. Dimensional travel, unlikely alliances, surprise deaths, and shocking cameos from the most obscure corners of lore. But it's also surprisingly accessible, especially for those who haven't thought about Angel Grove and Megazord since the early 90s. Though Higgins is about to blow up everything we know about the Power Rangers, maybe, it's never been a better time to follow the adventures of these teenagers with attitude. And again, we see some more cool images that were posted. So, wow, that is going to be insane. So, it looks like the last issue before Shattered Grid number 1. We got Power Rangers Shattered Grid will conclude in August with GoGo Power Rangers number 12 and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 30 and Shattered Grid Special number 1. Wow. Okay. So it's those 3 that are going to be the really big things. You know, and I recently picked up, here, I'll just show you guys really quick while we're here. I recently went to the comic book store and I picked up this graphic novel for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the annual #1. Which, I mean, I've already recapped this. I have it on digital copy. I have this in my digital format, but for this particular story, I was just like, man, I've been looking for it in stores. Originally, I wanted to get it in stores, but for the purposes of being able to share my thoughts with you guys, I went ahead and did the digital thing first. But I went ahead and got this at a local comic book shop, and it's just great to have in terms of my own collection. But showing this off anyway because I'm excited for the graphic novels that will come from this whole series for Shattered Grid. So I think that's something that'll be exciting too when it's all over. I think that may be something I might want to collect down the road once they're kind of finished with this story that's being told. But yeah, let me know what you guys all think. What are your predictions for the ending of Shattered Grid? And I mean, one thing I really, really love, and I'm paraphrasing here, but Kyle Higgins, in an earlier statement, when he first started, going with this whole series for the Power Ranger comics, he said, he wanted to give us a story that, wasn't, retelling the Power Rangers how we knew them, or not even recreating them, but more so telling a story on how the show made us feel. And again, I'm paraphrasing, his words, but I think that's an interesting concept, and we've kind of seen, kind of that artwork being played out within these comics. We definitely, have seen some deaths, and we've seen some crazy events happening all throughout the story. And I remember, even for instance, when Green Candle happened in the original show, literally kids around America, it felt like, Tommy Oliver died, essentially. And, to see how that made you feel, I thought was very interesting in terms of, the story, too, that's being told within the comics and what's going on with Tommy Oliver now and the whole story with Lord Draken. Just interesting. And I just, give major props to Kyle Higgins, major props to Boom Studios. They know what they're doing. And I think they definitely, I know, one of those comic book brands that, they're up there. They really are. It's not just Marvel and DC. Boom Studios, man, they have got some good storytelling, power behind their crew. So, yeah, love that. That's my thoughts. I'd love to hear from you guys. What are you most excited about for the Shattered Grid finale, for the event? Are you sad? Are you nervous about what, could and possibly happen? Who knows what's going to happen? But I do know, they also have stated, a lot of the, writers and creators that they know that the fans, we trust them. And with that trust, they're not going to let us down. So in my thoughts, obviously I'm sure Tommy Oliver will return. But who knows what's going to happen? You just never know. This is a different direction. But anyway, yeah, comment on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button, and share. And again, if you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. I'm always recapping these Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comic books. It's what I do. I love talking about this stuff with you guys. So until next time, guys, wham, bam, boom.